Hey guys, we had an issue. Our internet just like went out. I don't know what happened out here. There was some type of issue and things just went black for a second. If you'll give me a minute, I'm gonna get everybody back up. So um just give me a minute to get Mo and Aaron and Diamond up, and I apologize. I apologize. Super annoying. I apologize. It's just horrible. As soon as we invited Diamond in, um, the internet just went out. The power, actually, our power went out. Our entire power went out. So um, that's crazy. I have no idea why it did that, but our power went out completely. Copy link. Okay. All right, guys. All right, let's get them back in the building. I apologize. I have no idea why that happened. Um, but hopefully we can get everybody back in the chat. We had a good group. We're coming back for part two, and then I'll try to just merge these later, or we'll just have two separate conversations. But hopefully we can get everybody back in. Man, that sucked. No idea what happened. Let me see. Do we know what happened? Oof. You guys give me a second to get Scorpio Mo back in. So strange. I don't know. It was crazy, guys. It just went out. It went out. Power went out, and then the live went out, and we had 250 people on there. Hopefully, people will come over to this live. Hey, Patricia. Hey guys. Hey guys. And I know you're here to be contrary. Hey, you seven her three, but I love it. We love you. You're just our contrary viewer. All right, everybody come over. I'm trying to get that one off and just switch everybody over here. Do you know what happened?
Power surge.
Power surge. Oh my God, it was a power surge. I'm sorry, everybody. I have no idea. Let me call Mo because I don't know if he. All right, we got Aaron. Hey, Aaron. I apologize. We had a power surge and everything went out. Let me get Scorpio Mo and Diamond back. Hey, Jay the Baker. Um, we're coming back. We're coming back. Thank you, Aaron, for your patience. Let's get Scorpio Mo and Diamond back in the building. Um, is he over there on the other live by himself?
No, he was clicking out, and she was too.
Okay. Okay.
That's what happens when it's hot. So hot sometimes.
Oh, it's the heat. The heat. The heat.
When it's too hot sometimes.
Okay. Hey,
What up?
I was trying to call you. I was like, did he not see the text?
I did.
Okay. Yeah,
Diamond.
we had a power surge. We had a power surge and the power went out for a second.
But Diamond, did she get? You sent her one, obviously, right?
I did, Scorpio Mo. I did.
Well, I'm just checking because I was, he got his on the line. I just wanted to make sure she got hers.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's give people a few minutes to come in.
Right. So we were on.
I'm gonna take you out and put you right back in. Just stay right there. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. I see.
Miss T sent me the link. I call her Miss T because I always say her name wrong.
Oh, yeah. We appreciate that. She did a good job. Mo did a good
Yeah.
job continuing the conversation. I didn't even know it was so. That's just crazy. It just blacked out. Like it is. I didn't know that heat causes that. So, I apologize again, guys. So, we'll wait for Diamond to get back in, and then and the rest of the people hopefully to join us from the first live. Yeah, we're back on this one now. Okay. YouTube has caught up. Okay. All right. We can start all over again. So Aaron had an interesting story to get to, and I want to get back into that. I want to just talk with Diamond about her beginning, and then we'll get into more of that. But What info? So what did I miss? You want to catch me up, Mo?
No, we were just doing how they found out about the show, you know, the time in between from the time they met to the time of the show.
Mhm.
How she found out through Aaron, you know, just the preliminaries on how they got to the show.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll let you when Diamond jumps on. We'll let you pick back up where you guys were, and
But
hopefully,
Aaron, how many jobs? Aaron, you wear a lot of hats, man.
literally,
Okay, look, I got 32 of them.
Obviously, yes, you
Aaron,
do.
I had a question. Because you said that you do Christian comedy, and then you did something else. But then didn't you tell us the last time that you also were a male entertainer at one time?
That was when I was about 20.
Okay, give us the timeline of the job. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. I had a 6 pack then. I got a 20 pack now.
well, we understand. We
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't listen. Nobody could get me to take off my shirt. If you noticed on the show, I was in the pool in the jacuzzi with my shirt on. I was like, I'm not taking off my shirt. Y'all crazy.
So you started at how long did you do that, and what did give us just that's just an interesting career choice.
Well, I was always a guy that I don't know. I guess you can call me a freak. I guess I was always a guy. If you came over my house, I would be in my underwear, like in 2.2. Like it didn't care. You in my house, so if you don't want to see, you don't have to come in. Well, I had a few people come over, and they said, at that time I was decently shaped, and they said, you should try male dance. And I was like, really? And so I thought about. I was like, man, I can get some women out of this. So. Uh, I was too afraid to do it in Nickel Diamond. I was too afraid to do it in the United States or around Detroit because people was going to see me, and I didn't want that to happen. So I ended up at a club called Danny's in Canada, where I figured nobody would know me. But now there was
Oh,
kind of a downfall to that because in Canada, they didn't dance with their drawers on. It was butt naked.
what
And
the?
so, yeah, so I danced in Canada butt naked.
Why are you
And,
telling
and,
this
and then,
story?
because they asking the story, they asking the
Yeah.
story. I don't care. I don't care. It's old, very old. But and then I went from that to a company hired me called Party something. I can't even think of the name of it back then. But I started doing bachelor and bachelorette parties, and I also did kid parties. The funny thing, when I was dressing up as Barney and all that other kind of stuff, it goes to show you how far back that was when Barney was out. And
Okay.
I got a funny story to that one right quick. I went to a party that was supposed to have been a kids party, and so I came with the Barney costume, but somehow they confused the parties, and it was actually a bachelorette party. So I had to think fast. So I went back out to my car. I got naked. I put on the Barney costume, went in the house, danced at Barney, and came out of it. Of course, they said, "We love you, Barney." But yeah, that was back in my 20s. I think I stopped doing that at maybe 22, 23. Of course,
I
my father wasn't proud.
I am speechless.
You,
But we will continue on. Mo.
Yes, Diamond. Diamond. All right. So, but then he introduces you. He tells you about the show. How long is the period from the time you got there? Right. You told him. He told you. What was the process for you? Did you have to interview with the people yourselves, or you just went? How'd that go?
no,
'Cause he's
we had to do a casting. Him and I. They had to see. I did one by myself, and then they did one together. They wanted to see our energy together. They wanted to see how we our personalities.
okay. Okay. So
So
there was a gap in between your relationship before all this stuff, right? There was a period of a proposal, possibly a marriage. Correct? No,
It
because
was it was simple. He asked to be exclusive. I said yes. Then I look on Facebook. He put a ring up like he's going to propose to someone.
mhm.
I didn't say anything about it. He did not know I knew about it until later on. Um, that was it. You know, my thing is People learn from their mistakes, and he told that story. He
Right. So
thought
what's
he
this?
would never meet me.
Okay, but
Oh,
yeah, I have a question. This
yeah.
question I've just been asking all season from the first time that we heard this was coming out. How in the hell can you ask somebody to be exclusive that you have never met anyway? Like, how does that even work? Either one of
Aaron,
y'all.
Aaron can answer that.
Yeah, Aaron, yes.
Uh, I unfortunately, I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. Uh, I
He wasn't
require
thinking. He was just thinking between his head. No, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I require touch and feel. And come on now. I mean, for people to say that, not throwing this shade on anyone, but for people to say I've been in a relationship for 12 years and all this other kind of stuff with no touch and feel, somebody got to be doing something.
It's a lie.
Yeah, right. It's the rules of law. Come on now. So as I really wanted or thought that I wanted to be with Diamond, me and Diamond, we really had a whole lot in common. I mean, Diamond always said I was her soulmate, and I said she was mine. We
Mhm.
had a lot in common. However, as she just stated, that I stated, do you know how many people I've talked to online in the past that we talked all this crap online, but never ever met? It was all good. Oh yeah, we're gonna hook up. And when you gonna come here? When you gonna come there? But it never happens. So with Diamond, it was like, okay, here we go again. It's probably never gonna happen anyway. I'm never gonna meet her. And so even though we were talking online, I had people in physical form. You
Right.
understand what
No,
I'm saying?
absolutely. I just want the women to note. I just want to note for the women because I don't believe, and you, Mo, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I just don't believe any man who says he wants you to be exclusive and he has not seen you before. He's just talking, and if you are gonna do it, then he's not serious. It's unserious. As adults, it's unserious if you have not. And I think sometimes as women, we just have this romantic switch. It's like, oh, maybe he just really loves my conversation. But girl, no, no, no. They just are going to push and see what you're going to do. I just don't believe that any man is serious with a substantial relationship if he has not seen you and you guys have not, like, it just doesn't make sense in reality. Am I crazy, Mo?
Unless he's in jail, yes, you're right.
Well, the thing about that, even though we didn't physically see each other, we FaceTime each other, we talk. It's just like back in the days when people talked through letters. You know, I'm a hopeless romantic person. So
Yes.
everything, I was genuine with him on everything.
Mhm.
I already know he wasn't with me. I'm not dumb. But it's just a point. When you're gonna ask somebody to be exclusive, come on now, how you gonna put that ring on Facebook when you know you and I are friends?
He just talking because he got lips.
That's it. He has a that
Yeah.
silver tongue. He have that silver tongue.
And I mean, Aaron, I ain't gonna lie. If I was a guy, I would tell women stuff too, because we believe it. So I would do it too, because we just, we do have a romantic bone. We do have a romantic switch.
Did you?
And you're not the. I have girlfriends that be like, well, he said he wants to be us to be boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm like, well, how? How is that gonna happen? It just
What is the saying? Women love what they hear, men love what they see, fall in love with what they see.
Correct.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Diamond. Let me ask you this because I feel like sometimes we are more likely to be open to that if we have gone through some stuff
Mm.
and we're in a place of our life where we really want something real and it's like let me try something different. So where had you been? What was going on in your dating life that you would even be open to a Facebook conversation like that to where you would have given that person that much of your energy and time that you're not
Well,
seeing it?
it didn't start off like that. Like when he hit me up in my DM, I looked at the name and I'm like, I don't do nobody like that. I don't talk to anyone like that. But so I started looking through his profile and saw that he was an actor and he had his Facebook actors page, and
Mm-hmm.
I was a part of that, which I did not know. But then also I didn't talk to him because he had the same last name as one of my exes, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not gonna see about that because that's probably that person people's trying to find out something.
Right.
And so when I started looking through the pages, I saw that, this and this and that. So then I think it was 3 weeks later, I had said hello. And that's when we started. It's a lot of stuff that we found out that we had in common.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew that he wasn't ready and I wasn't ready because I just, like I say, went through something. And I think we were still going through something, and I knew his situation, and I was not going to have that. So that's why we stayed friends, even though we started, communicating more and talking different on a different level.
Gotcha.
So
Now,
I want to stop you and just go back. So was he in a relationship or a situation? Because you said you knew that you weren't going to do that. Did you
he
mean
just
that?
had moved to Cali.
Okay.
So I knew he was staying with someone. Nobody is not dumb. You're gonna say she was your roommate. Nobody is not dumb. Okay, in her head, she maybe thought they was together, but he kept telling her they're not together. So he was doing his thing, and I was not gonna be with nobody like that. I'm like, how you gonna do that? You staying with this woman, this and this and this. That's not cool. But everybody has done it, and I'm not gonna, and don't lie and say you haven't, because you have. Everybody has done it out there. So anywho,
What do you mean? Everybody has done what?
Yeah, I've done what, Dymond?
like got with someone to have a roof over their head.
I don't think
I never
everybody
done
has
that,
done it.
Dymond.
I have not done it. But I
Okay.
don't think everybody has done it. Some people have, but
I
not
know a lot
everybody.
of people have though.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
but I don't think everybody has done it. I think
But
some
they have. But they have. People say that they haven't, but they have. I'm not saying you guys. I'm not judging you.
No,
Well,
I'm
some
just
people
saying.
have. You're right.
You
Some
can't
people have.
say everybody has for sure
Yeah,
because some people haven't. But
Okay,
we
so
talk
what?
about it.
50,
I, 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 don't-
75%? Okay.
I don't think that everybody has. I think that certain people has. Maybe it was a situation, or you got some guys, men out there that are just users, just as well as women that get with
Exactly. Women
men
and
that
men do it. Have done
to
it.
come up. So, but I don't think everybody has
Yeah,
done it.
but no, it's a real thing though. I
yeah,
get
I think it's a
Even
real thing.
women do it. That's why I say it's
Yeah,
not just a man. Women do it too.
I agree with
Mhm.
that. Actually, I think more women probably do it than men because
I
Yeah.
think they're way slicker about it too.
but men will offer. I think everybody does it. I mean, everybody, not
Well,
everybody,
after you
but
hear a sob
both
story,
genders.
right? You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
but
You're
not everybody. I've never done it, but you know, I just may never been in that situation where I needed to do that. You know what I mean? I don't think I would.
Right.
But everybody's
Right. Because things happen in the blink of an eye. Because I like I said, in 2015 I have a book that's coming out. It's about it. A so-called bishop left me and my 9-year-old at the time homeless
mm.
in a hotel. So that's where I was coming from. I'm thinking this was a godly man, and he come out to be a con artist, and I was looking at him being a godly man instead of looking at him being a man.
So you've done it.
Yes, I did it so I can have somewhere to stay.
Okay, I got you.
okay. Yeah, but I think it's good for us to say we've done it. I know a lot, but you can't say everybody has done it because everybody's experiences are different. That fair?
They are. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, and Aaron, you did not tell us that part of the story.
You damn sure didn't.
Right.
You don't
Well,
skip
no,
over.
I just said I came to California. I didn't say
Yeah,
what I
but you
did when I
had a
got here.
motorcycle on a truck, and you done skipped over the lady.
Yeah, but that
No,
was
no, no. I didn't skip over. I never got to. I just said y'all asked me
Okay,
how did I get to
let's get to
California.
that then. Let's get to
Y'all
that.
didn't say what I did when I got to California. That's another question.
Well,
But
let's
let me
get to
ask you
that.
this, Aaron, because I think especially when people are coming out of bad relationships, a lot of times we rebound into something that can be convenient but not necessarily healthy. So
Right.
when you left Detroit, you have to come and get him, Adrian. When you left Detroit, did you already have something set up in California that was like, I got you if you come here? Like that's usually how that goes. Like,
So my
That's exactly how it went. I went on. Um, I did what I had to do. I'm a survivor, and I did what I had to do. I
mm,
knew I wanted to leave Detroit and come to Cali. The biggest thing, if y'all ain't heard nothing else about Cali, is it's a very expensive place to live,
very much.
and you got more homeless people here than anything. We got Skid Row, Tent City, all kind of stuff. But So the very first thing I had to do was find a place to live. Well, I connected with someone on one of the little dating apps, and they allowed me to come and live with them.
Yeah,
And that was so when I got here, I had a place to stay as soon as I got here,
there we
without doubt. Now, because you got to realize that the ink wasn't even dry. Matter of fact, I can say worse than that. I was going to say the ink wasn't dried on the paper yet. I wasn't fully divorced yet. I had to go back one more time when I got here to
That's
get
fair.
the full divorce. It is no way I'm coming out of 12 years of abusive relationship to be in another relationship with somebody else. Plus, I was still in a place of hurt,
Mm-hmm.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, if a woman asked me where was I going, I was going to go off right then. Don't ask me where I'm going, because that where am I going is going to turn into where the fuck you going, and I'm not about to deal with that. And so no, and so I didn't want to be locked in to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
nobody. And yeah, I started communicating with Diamond, so I was still in that situation. So if me and Diamond had it got together then, I don't we probably wouldn't be talking right now, because I was at a place where I was no good. I was no good. I was like, if you ever seen a dog that's locked in the gate for so long, and they mess around and come out that gate, they run sideways. You can't catch them because they just out the gate. Well, I
Yeah.
was like a dog out the gate. I was running sideways, baby, and it was no stopping me. It was no
Let me ask you,
stopping me.
let me ask you this real quick, Aaron, before we move on to actually you guys' relationship. What do you think, looking back now from this perspective, what do you think it was that because 12 years in an abusive relationship is a very long time.
Yeah.
Specifically to that, and I did look on YouTube. You guys can see there are some videos that you put up. My wife is tripping, but what do you think that it was in you that really made you a victim, that made you open to being in a relationship with a woman that would disrespect you that way consistently?
Um, Honestly, it is just I was in love because I was not raised that way. I've never seen my mother and father ever a day in their life be abusive towards each other. Matter of fact, because I'm old school, I've never seen my mother and father kiss. That was stuff like that they didn't put in front of our face.
Hmm.
So, I never seen nothing like that. But however, I was raised two ways, and that was one, never to hit a woman. My father told me this. He said, if a woman fights you, the most they can really hurt is your feelings, because they don't have the strength that a man has.
Hmm.
You're going to get locked up in jail and under the jail when they come out. Don't ever put your hands on a woman, by no means. And I never did. So that's one. Two, because I was raised under the cloth, divorce was out the question. Keep your family intact and stuff like that. So, and then I was in love, and I could not see myself without this woman. As a matter of fact, I would even go as far as to say, when I got to California, if she had contacted me within that first year and said, I'm sorry, come back, I would have went back.
Wow,
I would have
that's
went back.
okay.
Yep, I would have went back. It took me a minute to actually disconnect myself from
Yeah.
that entire situation to know the
Mhm.
the abuse that I went through. So it was hard. It was hard.
Diamond, I just want to say you look really pretty. You look very pretty today. I'm looking at you, but the show sometimes we
Thank
don't
you.
see people. You see them on the show, but you look very beautiful
He
this evening.
Joe is pretty.
She is pretty. So, Diamond, let's talk about you. What did you have going on? Because even that situation you just shared with us, with the bishop, and we talked about on this show, and we all know in life that just because someone is a part of the church does not mean that they, in fact,
Exactly.
people can use it as a way to manipulate, other people. So what was your situation like? What were you coming out of as when you met Aaron, and where were you at in life at that point?
I knew I was not ready to be in a relationship. I knew that I needed to get my mind, body, and soul back right. I knew I needed to get back to trust people, because that almost stopped me from trusting. It almost stopped me from even thinking about having love, especially with me being a hopeless romantic person.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it also had me thinking, like, God, you really gonna do this to me?
Mm-hmm.
We all, I'm gonna say, I have prayed for, a Boaz, And I know, like they say, you're not supposed to look. So I was not looking. And at that time, I'm thinking that was the person, like I said, because he was a man of the cloth, but he was a man first. And that's why the book is called Bishop Lives and Wives. And, I let young ladies and even men, I talk about how it happened. Because like you say, a person can manipulate you. And it's like they use their gift for evil. And that's what this person was doing.
And did he left you and your daughter in the hotel?
Yes. He was like, he didn't even look back, just kept going. Used He used me and got with the next person. Come to find out that this was his what you call it?
MO.
Yes. He went around, quote unquote, doing revivals and married every woman that he went around to.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yes. And that's not all of it, but you got to get my book.
Got you.
Okay. Okay, so you guys ended up getting cast for the show. But let's talk about the relationship prior to that, because you mentioned that he put up a ring. Aaron, you kind of talked about that on the show. The answer didn't make a lot of sense, but I like the fact that you took accountability for it.
Hold
But
on. So, Crystal, are you having feedback? Somebody's having feedback.
I can hear it.
I think I hear it on you because I didn't hear it on Dymond.
Yeah, I think it's her.
I
It
don't
could be
know.
me.
No, I'm not sure. I think when I came back in, well, now I don't hear it. I don't know.
No, it went down a little lower, but it's just a light echo. But go ahead, continue. I didn't mean no.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what. It's a heat wave. You're right. See, that's probably the heat. I don't know what's going on.
It's
I
cool.
forgot what I was. I don't even know what I was saying. No, you guys got on the show. Aaron had kind of messed up a little bit. What was it? Honestly, guys, because we know the show is over with.
It's over now, y'all.
They're gonna have a new cast. Come on, but where was you guys' relationship at as far as your communication, the trust level before joining Never Ever Mess? Were you guys in a good space? Were you trying to figure it out? Where were you guys honestly at? And we know you're an actor, Aaron, so we understand that it's a good opportunity for TV. But we're just saying, honestly, where were you guys at when the show started taping?
Well, first, me coming on the show had zero to do with TV.
Okay.
I wasn't even looking at it that way. I didn't get on there for acting possibilities, none of that. I did it specifically to meet Dymond, and because I'm cheap. So, so it was a
That
no
he
brainer.
is.
It
That
was
he
a no
is.
brainer for me. So wait a minute, they're gonna pay us to come on the show to meet you and fly you here, and I ain't got to pay for nothing. Oh,
Well,
let's
hey,
do this, baby.
you could have did it if you cut back on the hats and nail polish. You could have
But
did it.
hey, well, I'm cheap. I'm cheap.
The hats to the net, not according to those gel nails.
My nail tech charges me $35. I'm cheap.
How far was Diamond from you? How far were y'all apart?
Now, before that, honestly, it was the pandemic, and then when we was trying to see each other that August, I'll never forget. That's when they told us, no, we can't see each other, so we
Yep,
had to wait.
exactly.
How long had it been before you guys got to the show?
It was October, so it was like a month in between.
What are you saying? How long for what though?
For you guys, had you guys been talking
Oh,
Uh,
two, two.
it was the fourth year, I think. It was the fourth year. And then the show kicked in, and Diamond was just getting ready to come here. I mean, literally, he
after
was
4
just getting ready to
years?
come here, and they said, "Do not meet."
Yes, because you have to remember, I seen that 2 years before. So I was not going to go out there with that going on. I needed to
Mhm.
make sure that this is what he wanted. Just like when he asked me again, I say, "Are you sure you're ready?"
Mhm.
And what did you say, Aaron?
Hell no.
So what was it about him that made you still continue to talk to him? If you weren't, if you're not going to go see him, what connected you guys to continue to have the conversation and to continue the relationship online?
Because we was friends. He was genuinely a friend, and that's what I always wanted, a friend before anything else. Because when you don't have nothing to fall back on, if you arguing or fighting or whatever, what you got to fall back on? If it's just lust or sex or anything, you don't have nothing to fall back on.
When
So
Diamond
I wanted that friendship, and
when
that's what
Diamond
really
say
kept us together, is that friendship.
Mm.
when Diamond say we were friends, I mean we were friends. We have shared many tough times together, regardless of anything romantic. Diamond has called and cried to me, and I have called and cried to her. I mean, literal tears at things that we have been going through. We have talked to each other and prayed each other through and stuff like that. So the romantic relationship is one thing, but we have a friendship that's beyond any other. Here in California, I have no family. It's just me. It's just me. And Diamond, even though she is in Florida, she became not only a friend but like a family too, because she was my go-to. If I had any problem, I could call Diamond. She would talk to me and understand, and she would talk me through, and vice versa. So we had a bond that you just couldn't break. I mean, if we had never had a relationship romantically, you couldn't break that friendship.
That's what's up. I can respect that. Now let me ask you this: you guys were friends. Did you talk to Diamond about other women that you were talking to?
And I did the
Actually,
same
yes.
thing.
Good deal. Okay, so that's real friendship. Give him a hand clap, Mo. I like that's real friendship then.
Hey, I like that. That's good, but push it again.
Yeah, we like it. We like it. So okay, all right. So you guys get to the show. Aaron admitted that he was cheap, and I need to know where you're getting your nails done for $35 because we may have some XO family out there that needs to get that deal. That is a really good deal. That is
My
a really
nail tech is bomb. Trust me.
I believe you. I
She
believe you.
is. She really is.
So
Diamond's mentor.
you guys get to the show, and what are you expecting? Let's start with Diamond. What are you expecting when you get to the show?
I was not expecting what I went through. I was expecting to meet Aaron, to chill with him, to see if the chemistry was there, you know. Um, but I was not thinking I was going to be with 7 women.
Really?
I was not thinking that. Aaron and I was trying to think how the show was going to be, and we was way off, way off.
They never explained to you the premise of the show? I mean,
No,
your
I thought it was going to be a decoy on the show or something to try to pull us apart. Some woman for me, some guy for her. We didn't know what was about to go down.
Right.
interesting. Okay.
Okay, so you get there and you see it's other couples that are in the same situation that supposedly haven't met. I'm gonna tell you, I don't believe all those people had not met or were actually really together. I just don't. It just don't make sense because even like Catfish, when Catfish first started, a lot of people compared this show to Catfish. It made sense because things were a little different. Nowadays, it's so many ways you can see somebody. It's so many, especially with Catfish, because you can pick the phone up and FaceTime. So I want to ask you, Diamond, because Aaron, we already know when you saw Diamond, it was very clear that you were very attracted. She looked exactly like you thought that you wanted, and you were beyond excited about the physical.
No, he thought I catfished him.
Did he?
No, that's not. She keeps saying that, but that's not true. This is what I meant by catfishing. You can see a person on video, like I see y'all right now in this video, okay?
Mhm.
And I understand that you may look like you look, and he may look like he look. But when you see somebody in a physical form, you may see some things that you didn't see on film. Like I have no idea how your feet look right now. I don't know if you stink. You know,
Well,
don't
what
know.
did you see that was slightly different then?
Nothing. She was straight, but I said she could have been, is what I said. She could have been catfish. That means something could have been different than what I seen on video. You know,
He said I was a little thicker than what he saw. And I'm like, how? When you saw my whole body, I always show my whole body with him. I never
but that
hid it.
wasn't a bad thing. I wouldn't say that was like I was mad.
That's how you like it, right?
That's it.
Okay.
So, Diamond,
And
what did you think? Because this is my thing. Men are always complaining about women catfishing them. I will be the first one to say, when I was dating online, men are catfishes as well.
they do.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
they do.
did he look like you? Did he, with all his dimensions, what you expected, and were you happy with the package 100% when you saw him?
Well, it's like they cut that out on the show, because they asked about him.
Mm-hmm.
I always had said, and I told him, Aaron was not my type,
Okay.
and I was honest about that. But that is exactly why I love our conversation when we first started talking, because like I tell people, I want someone to fall in love with my mind. You know, that's how I am, and then you get everything. So his conversation, I that's how what got me. So I forgot about how he looked and all that stuff. But then when I did met him and physically, person, it was everything I imagined and what I saw on FaceTime.
What is your usual type, Diamond? Just for our benefit.
Morris Chestnut.
Well, that's everybody's type.
6'2",
But the damn
tall,
sure ain't my type.
chocolate.
So I don't know it's everybody. You got to
Well,
calm me down.
I'm being facetious for the women, obviously. The ladies know what I mean. The ladies understand what I mean.
That's everybody.
I never did a red man. I never did his color. No.
So you guys were you dating men that look like Morris Chestnut prior to Aaron? Did the bishop look like Morris Chestnut?
No, and that was hell. I mean,
Did
no.
any of them ever look like Morris Chestnut?
I'm sorry.
Did any of them look like Morris Chestnut? Did you ever?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's fair. All right,
Yes.
that's fair.
Yeah, somebody said or Idris Elba. Just certain people,
Yes.
No, because some people like I got a type, but when you do their history, they never dated their type.
That's true. That's true. I see what you're saying. That's true.
Yeah.
But no, I did.
Or the people that they dated, they think look like them, and other people look at them like that. Looks nothing like that.
Facts.
Like the girl that's on what's that show? Love is Blind, and says she looked like I forgot who she said she looked like.
I forgot her name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she looked nothing like her.
but she said that other people said
Megan
she looked like
Fox. She
Megan
said she
Fox.
looked
Yeah,
like
Megan
Megan
Fox.
Fox.
Girl
Yes.
look nothing like Megan Fox.
Maybe maybe from at an angle in a bizarre mirror.
Yeah.
With the light off too. But no, I gave God a chance, because we always pray. We always pray for, oh God, send me this man, send me this woman.
Right.
Then you're still choosing.
Yeah.
So you're not going by what he's giving you. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try this out, and we've been happy ever since until that fight.
Well, let me add to that, because here's another thing about dating your type. Everybody has a type, I guess, and you find you find these people single. And I think I said this to y'all before on the show. I said, well, if you've been dating your type all this time and you still single, you need to try something else.
You know what? That's a great point.
Let me ask you this. So watch this. Mo and Aaron. If a woman tells you that you're dating, that you're not her type, that you're not her usual type, does that bother you?
Yes.
Aaron, does that bother you?
No, I like a challenge.
Diamond, if it's I'll answer and then I'll ask you. If a man told me that I was not his type, I would feel uncomfortable dating him.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Because I would want to know, well, why you want to date me then?
Me too.
Right.
I know. I asked because I notice a lot of men don't care. A lot of men be like,
Well,
Yeah.
Diamond, if I put every woman I talk to in a line, Diamond would stand out because most of the women I talk to is dark skinned.
Okay, so that's
But
You
you
so
might like those.
so we was gonna go with types, but I don't go with types. I go with if you look good or you don't. It has nothing to do with your complexion, but usually I'm drawn to darker women.
okay. And obviously shapely, curvy women.
Y'all, that definitely.
Okay.
Because ain't nothing I can do for a thin woman except holding for the police. Okay.
But let me ask you this: is your type, so you have your type, but your type still has to be attracted to you, right? So what
Does
do
Yeah.
you
my
do
type
then?
does my type have to be attracted to me?
Right? Because what you just said your type, but the question was, what if you're not their type? What do you do?
Well, see, I like a challenge. So
Yeah, he
I,
likes
I, I love it when people say I'm not their type because stick around me for a minute. I get you.
I like that, Aaron.
The
I
one
like
thing I
that.
noticed about that is if they ever cheat on you, they're gonna cheat on you with their type.
Well, that's true. But if they cheat on me and go to somebody else, then I didn't have them in the first place.
That's my whole
You
Period.
point.
better say
You
that, Aaron.
you never
Period.
had them.
No, he did. That's
What?
not true, though. That's not true. I think that people can you can be open to something else. You can be open. My husband, he definitely has all the other things, but skin color was not, but all the other things definitely were. But now I would not
Here-
cheat with a
Here's
with
something I found out, and even from my dad, and he used to preach on this. He said, if you go to most relationship couples that been together for years,
hmm
ask him, is the person that they are married to all this time, was they their type? They usually say, no, really, they wasn't.
yeah,
No,
that's true.
That's why they
exactly.
say opposites attract. Because
Right.
at some point in time, let me tell you, let's go biblical for 2 seconds. They said that God will grant all the desires of your heart. Now, here's
Mhm.
where people get that scripture messed up. They think because you say that you want some tall guy look like Morris Chestnut or whatever the case is, and you want some woman that's all shapely, that's what God is going to give you. Well, He will. However, if you've seen the show Shallow Hal,
Yeah,
all the big women look small to him.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is, God may not change the person, but He'll change the way you view them.
Exactly.
Because once you fall in love, you view them differently. Now, when you fall out of love, watch, you notice every little thing. I don't never did like the way your second toe was bigger than your first toe. So you notice all that stupid stuff.
I will say this. I don't know because I think, when I was dating, if I wasn't attracted to someone, even if I liked their personality, if they were unattractive to me, I'd still be like, I don't like it.
I can't do it.
I don't like it. But that's, to each his own. Let's get back to the show. So moving into the show, you're in a house. One of the things that was very clear this season, it is an echo, but I was when I close when I turn my sound off, I still hear it. So I think it's coming from someplace else.
Somebody in the chat said it might be Aaron.
Yeah,
You think
it,
it's me?
it
They
could
said it
be.
might be. I don't know if you have another system on,
Oh,
like you might.
hold on. No, I don't have anything on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my mic off for a second.
See what? Okay.
And there it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay.
So it's me?
It's
Yes, sir.
okay though. It's fine. It's not that
Because
distracting.
I was going to say I could try to go out and come back in.
No,
I don't
no, you're
know.
good right there, right
No,
there.
you're good.
You're
You're
good right
good.
there.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this. So one of the things that was clear in the show is you guys were a more mature, more seasoned couple. A lot of the other couples were a lot younger. So how did you feel automatically coming in the house and seeing that most of the other couples were different? There was a very obvious age difference with you guys and the rest of the couples on the show. Diamond, I'll start with you.
Well, as you heard when I came in, I said I don't do women because they're disagreeable. And when I found out their age, some of them, I always say age is nothing but a number. It's your mental.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I always look at. So when we started out, everybody was cool. But then, as you learn people, as you stand with someone, like I tell people, you don't know anyone until you live with them. They started being, little girls. So, you just have to know how to deal with people like that. And that's where your maturity level come in at.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, I always think, I hate when I hear women say that, just because I think as Black women, we have to try to speak positive into each other. So I want to ask you, have you had situations that you've dealt with in your past, that you've had women not be kind or not show you love and appreciation, that make you feel like that?
No, because I'm always encouraging women. I always I didn't do it with you, but I always say, "Hey, beautiful queen, you look beautiful,"
Mm-hmm.
because you never know what a person is going through. I'm a type of person. My vibration is always up, and if you're low, I'm gonna bring you up. I bring a negative always to a positive,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I did with them. I was like,
But I'm trying to figure out why you said initially, like, I don't really do women, because I think that usually comes from a place of pain
Right.
when people say that.
no, it's not come from pain. It's just that I know I have been around women and growing up and through high school and middle school. I done seen people get picked on for no reason. I done seen girls get beat up for no reason because they don't like that person, because she was redder than that person, light skinned, or she was finer than that person. Why? I saw that through school, and then I'm like, that's crazy. You guys beating up on each other for what?
Mm-hmm.
I just never liked it, and then that's the reason I had started my nonprofit with little girls, because I wanted them to know that who they are and that they have a purpose, and that's what I was like saying with one of the cast members. We gotta, when I told her that situation, you were supposed to investigate. You were supposed to sit back, wait. Don't just go to that person, because you never know. And that's how it is with women. We so quick to go against each other for a man instead of being together, united. And
Yeah.
I always tell Aaron, and he always gonna say, "Oh no, it's not true." But I even did a study on this, and I did a podcast on this. At the end of the day, it's always a man that makes a woman, breaks a woman, and hurt a woman.
Mm.
We make the choice, but it's still always the man.
I,
Here's
Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead, Mo.
I hate to say, okay, but the problem I'm having with that is that incident in the house, when you put the battery in Aaron's back to go back at the house and everybody speak, you didn't have that energy then. You see what I'm saying?
When he,
Wait a minute, what battery and who's back?
right,
What?
right.
You
What are you
talking
talking about?
about?
Battery, the situation where everyone was saying what they were saying, and you wanted Aaron to speak up for you.
Okay, let's just speak it in plain English. I think initially what you just mentioned, Diamond, you were talking about when you said something to Shay, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think Mo, let her address that first. Let her address that, because we could just say names because the show is off.
I couldn't remember.
Before, we didn't want to do spoilers or stuff, but the show is already off. So when you told Shay, tell us how that happened. So let's just jump into that because you mentioned it.
Well,
Alexis,
okay, go ahead.
did Alexis call you and have that conversation with you while you were still in the house?
No, I called Alexis checking up on her because I wanted to make sure she was okay, because all that had happened.
Mm-hmm.
And we was talking, and then she was asking about everyone, and I
Mm-hmm.
was saying, yeah, and I said, yeah, Shay and Josh going to get a tattoo, like that. And she was like, what? Are you serious? I said, yeah, why? What's wrong? And then that's when she told me that he
What did
made a
she
pass
say?
at her.
What exactly did she say happened?
That he tried to get her out of the room to go in the hallway where there wasn't no cameras
Mm-hmm.
to have sex.
Wow.
And I went to Josh first. I
Mm-hmm.
went to
Okay.
him. I said, hey, this was told to me. I don't know what's going on, but I think you should talk to Shay about it. before they want to talk to her about it, because it was supposed to have been set up for them to make a phone call, but Shay wouldn't get on the phone with her because
Okay.
she's listening to what the house was telling her to do. Um, but he didn't go to her and tell Shay. So I say, Shay, that's why I went up to her. I say, Shay, did Josh tell you what happened? And she was like, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about that? Because there's that out of the couples on the show, they were consistently together. Like they were probably the least problematic until the very end, until that
That's
situation.
what they showed you. But Shay was in a lot of stuff too.
Oh well.
But Josh, like everybody say, if I felt like he came on there just to eat, fuck, and that's it, and that's what he did. I mean, even when we went to the boom boom room, nobody didn't eat. As you saw, Aaron didn't get nothing. I didn't get anything. She didn't get anything. But he stayed over there to get that plate and come over there to the boom boom room. I was like, really? You no loyalty at all.
Wow.
Do you think, Diamond? Do you think that Josh was really into Shay?
Keep it real.
I'm gonna say this. When the cameras are on, people could do whatever they want in front of the camera and act any way they want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about me and Aaron. When you didn't see us, we was together. We was doing what we needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
When you did see us, we was talking to them. You know, they asking us questions, different things like that. I came on there for Aaron. That's it. Nothing else.
So, Diamond, do you think that Josh was really into Shay?
Exactly. Inquiring minds want
To me, I don't think so, honestly. I think
Yeah.
it was just to get on the show.
Okay, that's fair. What do you think, Aaron?
Uh, I really don't know. I wasn't involved in that, even though I did tell Diamond, and Diamond knows this, and it was on film that I told Diamond I wouldn't do that if I were you. Uh, it really was none of her business. That's what I told her. But I understood why she did it. But if
Mm-hmm.
you ask me, was Josh into her? All I'm gonna say is look at Shay and look at Alexis.
oh,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Dominique wasn't into Alexis. He was very clear about the fact that he was not necessarily attracted to her the way he thought he might have been when he saw her on camera.
I'm
That's
gonna
that's a
say that was a
negative too.
lie.
That's a
Exactly. That
negative
was a
because
lie. He
they
was
when
mad.
he was
Go
mad.
ahead. Go ahead.
He when what they, I'm not saying nothing that they haven't admitted to. That he was angry during the
The interview.
interview. You got to
Yeah.
remember they had been removed from the show, and then they did an interview. So he was in an angry spot at that point. And when people are angry, they say whatever.
And
I
he
don't think.
told them
Yeah,
to forget about what's going on. It's
Mm-hmm.
to think about what happened
oh.
then.
So it was
Gotcha.
shot after. Okay, okay.
correct, correct.
But do
So
you
he was
think
pissed.
he was okay? That makes sense. That's really good
I'm glad
intel.
you clearing that up.
But even when they saw each other, he just did. You know how you could tell? I feel like the eyes don't lie. It was clear. It was very clear to us, the producers, everybody else watching the show, that Aaron was very attracted to you. It was very clear that Chris, we might not have agreed with a lot of Chris. I did not agree with. I was disgusted by a lot of things Chris said, but it was very clear that he was attracted to Sandia. It was not clear just by body language, and men's eyes dilate when they are attracted to the pupils dilate both ways. His pupils weren't dilating. Now, he might have been angry. I'm sure he was angry, but it did seem like the vibe, wasn't necessarily the same as the two of you guys. I can't really get a feel on Josh and say I felt like it was some weird stuff happening just because the story just didn't make sense to me. And I was clear about that all season. I think Millie and Greg, it was clear they were attracted to each other. You just didn't get that same vibe from Alexis and Dominique.
Facts.
Well,
And
well I want to say this right quick. Again, I was not involved in that situation. However, I'm a little. inquisitive, and I like to dig. And what I found out that Alexa's story, now I don't know because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Alexa's story stayed consistent from the day she left to now. It's the exact same story. Josh's story switched about 4 times. I
Well,
can
he
I can
also
I can
said
point out the times that it switched. It switched about 4 times. So for me, the inconsistency says something is wrong. Now, whether he did it or not, I have no idea. All I know is I asked Josh personally, which they didn't show either. I asked him personally in the room. I said, Josh, let me tell you what's going on. Now, see, this is two men talking now. They didn't even show this. I said, let me tell you what's going on now. They saying that you took Alexis into the hallway. He said, I didn't do it. And I believed him until I actually seen the same show y'all seen. So that means he lied to me too.
were they talking? Did you guys were you guys aware? Because Greg also said that there was a lot of people talking about sexuality, threesomes and stuff like that. Were you aware that there might have been some conversation happening that might have led to some sexual energy taking place? Like, were they talking about threesomes and stuff? Because he said that they did have that conversation. So did you all, witness any of that?
Well, I didn't, but I do want to point this out, and I really want you to think real good. Let's go to the show for a second. Uh, Shay asked him. Well, Diamond asked Shay that night. Did he tell you anything? Shay said no. That's the first thing she said was no.
Mm-hmm.
Then she said he told me. Not either he didn't tell you something or he told you. Then she said he told me that she tried to come on to him and that he could hit it if he wanted to. That's what he said. Then when she went to Josh and she said, "Did you do anything that night?" He said no. And then in his confessional, he said that Alexis came in the room and thought that she was going to have to hear them have sex. Okay. Then it changed. Oh, wait a minute. Hear them have sex. And he said, then eventually Shay fell asleep. That's what he said. Eventually, which means Shay was woke for that conversation.
Yeah.
Then he turned and started saying that the girl said a threesome. Now, where did the threesome come from? You never said that in the first place. You never said that when you was talking to. Now, I'm just telling you from a person viewing the thing like everybody else. I didn't see it, but just listening to the story. Oh no, that story was not new.
It didn't make
No,
sense.
that story made no sense whatsoever. So where the threesome came from, and then later on, I don't know if y'all heard this. Later on, it turned to he went in the hallway to do laundry. Now, where did the laundry come from?
Yeah, I mean, I just some ain't right, some
Yeah,
ain't
some ain't
clean.
right, but
But I mean let's move on to another subject before we even get to to Jody and Sandia in that situation. There's a whole lot of issue with that. I want to ask you guys about well, Aaron and Jody, right? Because that was to me the most problematic couple on the show. Dom and Alexis left early, so okay, cool, that's gone. But when it came to Jody and Aaron, what did because that caused the issue with that Mo brought up earlier when everybody was saying that Jody was being flirtatious with Chris and Aaron was just not. It just seemed to us that he just was clueless. What did you guys? What did you guys see that we didn't see that caused you to have Diamond, you to have that strong, feeling about it and to really get upset with the rest of the cast for not acknowledging
Um, well, that scene about when I put everybody out there when I say about fake, that's what you're talking about?
it?
Yes.
Mhm.
It's because they were. Even Aaron, like I told Aaron, all the guys was in the room and they was talking about it. All of them.
What
And then Millie and Sandia and everybody besides Jody, they was talking behind her back, but everybody was talking about it. Everyone. So then when you see this going on in front of you guys, you don't want to open up your mouth, but you want to talk behind her back. No, I'm that type of person. I'm gonna take it to Jesus. We gonna come to Jesus with that. And that's what I did. I said, y'all around here kikiing in this girl face, but talking about her behind her back. But y'all ain't man enough or woman enough to say she wrong for doing this and this and this.
Yeah.
That's all what I was saying. And they were all fake. I'm going to call you out. I don't care because I'm not scared of anyone.
Right. No, I mean, I think us watching the XO family, we had an issue with just the fact that Jody was so mean to Aaron.
Correct.
I mean, and she made comments like she just wasn't, it was her boundaries and all this, but obviously it wasn't that, because she had no problem with anybody else. Her boundaries
Period.
weren't.
Period. Exactly. And when he first came there, because they didn't show it, but I was the first one who say, "Hey, Aaron, how you doing?" I didn't know him. I say, "Hey, how are you?" I introduced myself to him. He was sitting on a couch, looking so sad after their date. I was like, "Why is he here?" And then is she in the kitchen talking about him? And I'm like, "Wow." So it started on that same date that you guys saw. And it got worse.
Aaron, why do you think Aaron, because we saw you try to really go hard for him,
Yeah, he did. He did.
to his dad, and I mean, just why was he so, because I feel like he must have just been trying to stay on TV.
First, let me clear the dad part. The production told me to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, they asked me to go and talk to Aaron's dad. I wouldn't have did that. But as far as Aaron is concerned, Aaron is a really nice guy. I thought he was a really nice guy. Watching the way Jody treated him put me in a kind of a bad spot because it was a trigger for me,
Right. Okay.
you
That makes
know. And being that Aaron is young, is a lot younger than me, I seen stuff that I seen it. I seen a possible ex of mine and Jody, and I was trying to warn him, you know. And I don't know why she waited until so long to tell this man that she wasn't interested in him. Because here's a fun fact: uh, uh, Dymond was Team Jody at first. I was never. I never was Team Jody from the time I walked in the house. Matter of fact, Jody is the only person that I never spoke to. I was the last one to get to the house. Everybody had gotten to the house but me. I was the last one. And when I came in, everybody spoke except Jody. She was the only one. And it was something about her. And people say, "Well, how can you like somebody that don't like somebody you don't know?" Well, we do it all the time. You see somebody, you say, "It's just something about that person that I don't care for." You don't have to know 'em to know that. But it was something about her I didn't care for. And as I watched them too, I was like, either they here to get a check, or they friends, or something. But they are not together. It's just no way. And then I seen Aaron seems to be really into her. So I watched him too. And I said, man, he likes her, but she is not into him. And I felt like she was going to dog this boy. I felt like she was really going to dog him. And I'm going to tell you, it was none of my business. I can tell you that right now. It was none of my business. And if I had it to do all over again, I would not have done it the same way. I can tell you that right now. But at the time in the mix, she kind of brought a trigger for me, and I went there with her. But yeah, to me, she wasn't right. And it is what it is.
I have to ask this question because a lot of viewers, really felt like Aaron was um, portraying, wanting to be in a situation with Jody, but that he might have been at the very least bisexual and just not comfortable with being with a woman. What would you all say to that? Because that was the consensus from most of the viewers were like,
I'm one of them people.
Wow.
That's the energy I got.
and that's not, see, this is the thing though. Before you answer, this is my problem with that.
It's not a bad thing.
People act like, oh, you're wrong for saying that. We all know that there are signs and there are things that we see from people, and sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, right? That's just for a reason. So I don't think it's that anybody is trying to be hateful, and I don't think bisexual is a bad thing. But I do think that if you are masquerading as not bisexual, then that's where people are like, wait a minute, it comes off as inauthentic. And I just want to make sure we're clear with that, even to the chat. We're not trying to say if he's bisexual, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that. I just think that people should be honest about who they are. And when you're not, it comes across as uncomfortable. There was a young man on Love is Blind, the first season, named Carlton, who I actually know. He lives here in Atlanta. He went on the show and he was not honest with the young lady. And I think her name was Diamond. Ironically,
I
um,
think so.
it
I
was.
remember
And
the episode.
he was not honest about the fact that he was bisexual. And
Right.
what happened is when it came out, she responded like she was upset because that's not what she was looking for. It wasn't that she had a problem with bisexuality. It was the fact that he was not honest from the jump.
Right.
So I just think that I want to say that first, because it's not like we're trying to say there's anything wrong. If he is bisexual, there's nothing wrong with that. But I do think that there's a reason that most of the audience is saying that he read like he was more bisexual than not. With that said, I'll bow out and let the two of you respond to that.
Aaron, you could go first. You on mute?
Oh, I don't know that man's sexuality, nor do I care. Um, he is who he is. I think there's a lot of eccentric people in the world. I think honestly, in today's day, everybody wants to say everything is gay. I mean, if you got an
Right.
earring in a certain ear, if you drive a certain car, if you wear a certain color, if you do this, if you do that. I mean, they use gay out of context because a gay man only messes with men. They don't want anything to do with a woman. So I think that people use that surely out of context. But I think that he's who he is. Because he wears a long earring, that doesn't make him gay. That makes him a man that wants to wear long earrings. You know, because he has a lighter voice, that doesn't make him gay. That just makes him a man with a lighter voice. If you didn't see the gun, the bullet coming out the gun, then you can't say he shot it. So if you're not seeing this man in the bed with another woman or another man, or he's not physically saying that, hey, I'm bi or gay, how can you call him gay?
But we never said gay. We said bi.
Yeah, but I mean, how can you really say that?
We're asking because it
We're
comes across
asking.
that
That's
way.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't call people sexuality because I have a gay cousin, and one thing he told me was, it's not the people who you think is gay who walk around with the walks that you think may be gay. It's the ones that act like that the man is the ones he said is the ones. So
Man,
you know, I can't say whether he's gay or not. He's a nice young man. That's all I can say. Is the guy is very articulate. He seems to be very smart. He's taking care of his child. He seems to have his thing together as a young man, and he's doing great. What his sexuality is means absolutely nothing. Whether he
well.
is or isn't.
If the woman thought that he was one thing, that does mean something. Because in my personal opinion, when she finally met him, that was the thing that turned, because they were talking this, her energy was different. Even when she said, what she had to say at the end of the show, it was like a weight lifted off. I never seen her smile like that on none of the episodes. Like her energy totally changed. And like I said, I don't know. It just felt like to me when she got there and she read the energy person, she was disappointed.
Well, she's a sexologist, so uh,
So
she should. I mean, she should have known this from the start. I'm quite sure
no,
that
but
him and
what?
her had some type of conversation, and she's openly admitted to being by herself. Well, she didn't use the word bi, but she said she don't know whether she's gonna be with a man or a woman. So I mean, I don't see the
But
problem in it.
do you hear what you just said though? You just said, well, she knew, and she's a sexologist. She should have known.
Yeah, she should know whether
No,
he is or isn't. whether
Oh,
he is or isn't. Yeah, she should have known whether he is or isn't because they've had this conversation, they've talked and stuff like that. So whatever he is or isn't, I'm quite sure they've talked about this. They know because as a man, I know if I get on the phone with Diamond, we have had sexual conversation. Trust me. So I'm quite sure they have too, especially with her being a sexologist. So whether he is or isn't, I'm quite sure she knew.
We
well,
don't believe the sexologist.
well, we
Thank
definitely
you.
don't
I'm
believe that.
so glad you said that.
We don't
Thank you.
believe that part.
And
That's
I'm not saying
that's a
that
whole different topic.
right.
Thank
I'm
you.
not saying that she hasn't studied, but what I am saying is that she just has a lot of trauma and a lot of healing to do. And that's not me being that's just being that's based on what we saw. And maybe she has done some healing since then, but you know, that's we're not just because you went through something and you read or you looked up some stuff on Google, it's not that. I get what you're saying, Aaron, and I think we had fun with you when you were on here the last time. I guess I just don't. We talked because a lot of people ask you. We actually asked you about your sexual orientation because not a lot of us aren't used to seeing men wearing nail polish and things like that. Is that why is that a sore spot for you? Why is that what do you think about that? Because I think if a person asks, it shouldn't bother you, right? If
Uh, that no, it doesn't bother me at all. I knew what I was doing when I put it on, and I knew I was going to get that. As Snoop Dogg says, I does what I does, cuz it ain't hip unless it's dipped at the tip. Because you do know Snoop Dogg gets French manicures all the time. I don't know how many people knew that, but the thing is with my black people, because I'm gonna talk to us. We are so busy talking about oppression, and I hate that because nobody oppresses us like we oppress each other. Why is it always what we should be doing and what we should not be doing? If I'm free to do whatever I want to do.
but did
And
we
so
say
I'm a man and I'm able to
nobody
do what,
said nobody
wait,
said
what,
what you should or should not
no,
be doing though?
I understand that, but people had this stigma on who's supposed to be doing what. Well, a man shouldn't wear nail polish. Why not? They was the first to wear it back in 3500 BC. Everything goes around in circles. But what I do love is being different. Now, if that makes it a conversation piece, that's great. People want to question my sexuality, they can question it. The same thing I said with Aaron. Nobody knows me. Even if I was or wasn't, what business is it yours who I'm laying with in the bed? I got Diamond right there. Okay, so I'm not worried about that. But people question all the time. That's just what they do. But
But if you come
dare
on
to
a
be
dating
different.
show, if you come on a dating show, it's fair that people ask because
All
Yeah,
the time.
you've agreed to put
yeah,
yourself on a reality show. So I'm not saying what you should or
yeah.
should not do, but I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, have are you into women? Have you been with men? It's just a question because you're on a
No,
date.
no, it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with that. Trust me. Since
No,
I've
he's
done this
not.
show,
Okay. Okay.
I have been questioned about my. That's been the number one thing besides the sucking of the toes. Has been the nail. The nail. That oh, he wears nail polish. Oh, it's gel polish. It's this is that polish. I knew what I was doing when I put it on. If I didn't want that to happen,
Okay,
before I went on the show, I would have removed my polish, and I could have just rocked no polish on the show, and
right.
then went back to my polish when I got back to my regular life. I could have did that. I said
Yes.
no. I'm going to be who I'm going to be, regardless of what anybody thinks. And so I knew what was going to happen. When I painted my nails, I knew what was going to take place. I knew people were going to talk and all that. So when they come and talk to me and ask me why, I give them a complete answer. Whether they accept that answer or not makes me no never man. And as I always say, if you're a female and you put on a man's suit, does that make you a lesbian? No, that makes you a female with a man's suit on. So it is what it is.
But I'm okay. So I'm just asking the outright question in plain English: are you bisexual?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so that we can move on. We can move on.
That's it.
There we go. Okay, Diamond. All right, let's get to you guys' relationship. We could talk about some of the other situations on there, but of course we've been on here a while, and people want to know. We saw you guys. That was not. We feel like y'all should have had a full reunion. Uh, and not
We
the.
did.
I do because I did not like the virtual I didn't
I
like.
didn't like that, but a reunion. Did we?
It just would have been fun,
It
but
would have.
it would have been fun. But we were surprised to see Diamond. You were very upset and said that the relationship had been pure hell. What did Aaron do?
Explain,
I'm just
Diamond. Explain.
what did Aaron do when the show was over? It caused you to be that seriously because we're laughing, but you were literally crying. It was really sad. So what happened after the show? We'll let you go first, and then Aaron can speak as well.
Well, it didn't happen like right after the show. Like I explained, after the show, I stayed out there with him, and we spent Thanksgiving together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then he came to Florida, and he spent Christmas and New Year's together. We brought in New Year's together, so everything was fine. And then when he went back to Cali, it's like he did a 360. Like something went off in his head that changed his mind about me. But you also got to understand too, we're still learning each other at the time. We were still trying to find each other, like, his what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I learned, Aaron don't know how to communicate in a relationship once he get in a relationship. So that's one thing that we had to get by with. It was just a lot of stuff that, what happens in relationships. And like I tell people, if you did not want the relationship, you don't fight for it. So people just move on. But
Mm-hmm.
why would I just let that go when we met each other finally? And, we still, at that time, because it was a year now, well, almost a year from from being with him, from the from the show. So we're still learning each other, and like now we're still learning each other.
Aaron, what the hell happened?
Huh?
what happened when you went back to California that made you stop? That switched your energy up. And Aaron,
My
hold on, Aaron. Also, I did not like when you said when Taronda asked you if the friendships that you have with other women, if it's a problem for Diamond, would you let them go? And you I mean, it wasn't even a hesitation. You were like, no. And I told Mo, I was like, well, at the point that a person is engaged, when you get down on one knee and you ask that woman to marry you, according to the Bible, because you done quoted a lot of biblical references tonight, the man shall leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife. So he damn sure needs to leave those friends. So obviously, you weren't necessarily ready for the proposal that you did on the camera. Am I correct, or what? Or clear me up if I'm wrong.
Come on, Aaron.
Did y'all see? I want y'all to pay attention. I always say pay attention, real good. Y'all see how quick I said that no
Yeah,
with no hesitation.
it was no.
That was like a that was like a mad child when I said
Right.
that no. Me and Diamond did that interview in the same room. I was looking dead at her when she was crying, and she was looking dead at me when I said no. We were angry with each other at the time we did that interview.
Okay.
And so when she said, "Would you leave her for would you leave your ex?" I was like, "No." I didn't even have to think about it because me and Diamond was into it.
He
So
wanted to make me
and
more mad. Yeah,
yeah, and another thing is we didn't know that they were going to use that
sure
on
did.
film either. We had no idea
What
because
do
if we
you?
did, we wouldn't have done that. But yeah, we were into it that day, and people they thought we was broke up. But notice also pay attention on the show. Neither one of us said we was breaking up. We just said we was going through problems. So how they got to we was broke up, I don't know. No, because that's not true. But we had a bad argument that day, and the next day, if they'd have shot it the next day, they'd have got a total different Aaron and Diamond.
But what did you? But she said that when the show stopped taping, and after you guys had the fun for Christmas, the holiday season was great, and then when you went back, your energy changed. So why did that happen? Honestly, Aaron.
Huh?
Yeah, come on, man. You know
As
what
he
Come
happened.
said,
on,
his
man. Come on.
triggers.
Come
He
on.
had
Huh?
triggers. Some things I was doing, it made him think about his ex-wife.
Oh man.
And he was like he said, if somebody come to him talking about, oh, you're not going to do this, or why are you doing this? He thinks somebody was trying to control him. And like I told him, I wasn't trying to control nothing. We were supposed to get to know each other. So why are you on the phone? It was basically about a phone. That's all what it was about.
Aaron.
Well, let me tell you the story of the phone, and we'll let that one out. Let me tell you the story of the phone. I was in Florida with Diamond, and we went to Walmart, and we were walking around Walmart, and I walk fast, by the way. And Diamond told me that I was walking too fast. I was on the phone, talking on the phone, and I felt like she felt I was trying to get away from her because I was on the phone. And then when I hung up the phone, she said, "You think I'm stupid? There was no business call." And I said, "I never said it was a business call." She said that it was a woman, and I was talking to my best friend Ronald in Detroit. Now that right there was a trigger for me because we're not about to go back to this where you blaming me for stuff that I didn't do because my ex-wife went on the computer, and I don't know if you know anything about font. But she went on the computer. She knew nothing about fonts, and she clicked the font button and asked me who the hell Ariel was. Now Ariel is a font on the computer. I said, I know you got to be kidding.
Okay.
So when Diamond did this, it kind of threw me. And when I left there, I was like, nope, I can't do it. I said, no, we're not. I'm not about to go through this. I just can't. And so I started acting a little different. And the thing is, I go back to the Bible again because I have a favorite Bible scripture, and that is, "In all things get an understanding." And I didn't get that understanding, so I never talked to Diamond about it. I never found out why she thought that or why she said what she said. And so I just went on what was in my head, and my head won at that in particular time. But once me and Diamond got to really talking about it, she explained to me, and I was talking to a female at first, but it was my daughter, so she heard a female's voice, and that was the reason why she said I was talking to a female. But I kind of understood where she was coming from once she explained it. Once we got past that, we were good again, and I never did nothing like that again. But
I
that's
have a
that's
Bible.
what it was.
I can't do it. I have a Bible scripture. They who walketh fastest on the phone is talking to another female. Yes. You were talking. Come on, man. I'm with you, Diamond. Come on, man. Come on, brother. It's over with.
I do have that. I believe that.
I was talking. I think Diamond can attest. I was talking to my best friend Ronald.
Okay, but okay. So I do want to read the scripture because I want you to quote the entire scripture. That is Proverbs 4:7, which is, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." So let's just make sure we give full context, Aaron, to
Yeah,
that
that's
verse.
it. Yeah,
But
but see, that's why it says get wisdom and
yeah,
get understanding because just because you know about it, you got to understand it.
but Aaron, let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you, and then I want to ask Diamond the same thing. Honestly, do you think that because there's a lot of triggers, and that happens when any of us go through pain. I've talked very candidly on here about my heartbreak, and it took me a long time to actually be healthy enough to give my all to a person. That's why I ended up spending a lot of time single. But do you think that you're honestly emotionally ready to be in a relationship and to be a husband at this point? Or do you think that you may need to do a little bit of healing from what you went through for 12 years?
Is he frozen?
No, I
Okay.
ain't frozen.
Huh?
Did you hear what I asked you?
No, I didn't hear it. What did you say?
I said, do you think that you are emotionally really ready to be a husband at this point? Or do you think that you have some healing to do from what you went through for 12 years?
No. I am emotionally ready at the point in time now. I wasn't. I wasn't always ready. I wasn't ready emotionally. I wasn't ready spiritually. I wasn't ready financially uh, the entire time. And I want to be more like my parents. I want to be, even though I'm then got too old to be in a relationship for 61 years, but um, we all deserve to be happy. And
Mhm.
regardless of what anyone thinks, and everyone think of me and Diamond, they think I ain't shit, and Diamond is this, and Diamond is that, and we shouldn't be together and all that. It's about our happiness, and Diamond makes me happy. Diamond puts me in a place where of peace and happiness, and that means a great deal to me. And I know that I'm ready to take on what it needs to be. I can take on a wife. I can take care of her. If it's up to me, I'll tell her the same thing I've always said, that you will never have to work. Have to work. You can do anything you want to do. I'm not a man that tells a woman what to do, but you
Mhm.
don't have to work because I got this. So I can definitely take care of her, financially, and then I can take care of her emotionally. I can protect her, her heart and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm ready now. I wasn't always ready.
Aaron,
I wasn't always ready. Trust me.
what did you do to heal? Because 12 years of abuse is a long time. So what did you do? What work did you do to heal from that? Because it sounds like you went from the situation, got away from that, probably got into another situation, and then got out of that, and then went into this. And I appreciate the fact that Diamond makes you happy, and the fact that you make her happy. But we want you guys to make each other happy long term, and in order to do that, you have had to do some soul work, right? And so because we had Greg on the other day, and I think that a lot of times men don't we don't give men the space to acknowledge that they need to do emotional work. So asking you, what has been poured into you to kind of replenish you from that 12 years of a negative and toxic relationship, besides Diamond?
A lot of prayer and a lot of mentoring. I have the best counselors
Okay.
that men can buy. I have Alice and Charlie Howard, which is my parents. I called them, and my dad talks to me as if I'm not even his son, but I'm just a person in the church. And he talks to me, and he guides me, and he tells me, no relationship is perfect. He tells me about what I went through. And me and my dad, we 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 argue sometime or debate sometime, because sometimes I tell him, Dad, how can you tell me you've never been through this yourself? Your mama never did this, so how do you really know? He said, well, the Bible is the same today as it is tomorrow. It's gonna be. He said, if you want to know anything, all you got to do is go in here and start reading. And so me and him go through scriptures, and we talk, and I prayed hard for God to lift me from what I came from, because as a man, I shared many tears, many tears. I went through so much. I mean, I know we've talked about this already, but I can't even I can't even tell you the amount of stuff that I went through in 12 years with this person. And it took a lot of soul searching, a lot of healing. And like I said, if I had a got with Diamond, if this had happened any other time, then right now it wouldn't have worked. It just wouldn't have, because I didn't have the right frame of mind. I want you to understand what I'm saying. I thought I was healed,
Hmm.
but you don't know you healed until it's tested. Anybody can say that they healed or they over something. I'm over her. Or I'm over him. That's because you're not around them.
That's
It's
true.
easy to say that if you're not around them. It has to be tested.
Hmm.
So when it was tested for me is when I went back home. And I went to visit my children, and I had to go around this person. And this person triggered me again. I knew I wasn't healed. But after a while, after prayer, I did it again, and I didn't care. I was good. She
Yeah.
said stuff to me, and I smiled. I was okay. I knew right then that I had been healed from what I went through. I knew it didn't bother me anymore, because for the longest it bothered me. It really did. And so with God's gracious, that He helped me, and my dad talked to me, and my mother talked to me. If I didn't have a praying mother and father like I did, I don't think I would be where I am today. I
So
just don't.
the lady that you had the toxic relationship with is your children's mother.
Yeah.
I would say this, and this is just my opinion, and it's not Bible, it's Crystal's opinion. But I think there's two different things. I think there is healing as far as like no longer that person no longer being able to hurt you, right? Then you have to get over the hurt and the emotional damage that has done to you. So it's one thing, like, and I just speak from my own perspective. Um, it took me a while for my ex not to be able to, if I saw him, like you said, like for that not to be able to hurt. But then I still had to get over the emotional trauma that had been done during the time. So the person is one thing, but even when the person is gone, that doesn't mean that you emotionally are ready to love someone else. You got to fix you. Got to get over them. Then you got to fix you. Then you got to move forward. So I hope that you are able to continue healing, because I think you're a good person. I think you've just gone through a lot, and I think you want love, which we all do, but I think you probably have some more healing to do, even on top of that, and we're all healing consistently. I don't think anybody ever gets to the point where they're,
Oh yeah, it's a process. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We all keep learning. Life goes on. It doesn't. Everything that happens for one person may not happen for the next. You know what I'm saying? So because you went through something and you healed this way, or you went through that way, or it took you this amount of time to do it, doesn't mean that's going to happen for me. What a lot of people do is they go on what they went through and say, "Oh, you're supposed to do it this way, or it's supposed to happen that way," like they got a blueprint or some unwritten rule. That's just not the way life goes.
we got
Everybody is different. Everybody is different. So what I went through is different than what somebody else went through. So I
yeah,
go through it my way. They went through it this way. What I'm thankful for is I found a woman that understands what I went through. I understand what she went through because we both went through some similar situations,
yeah,
and we can move along together, which is great because everybody's not going to understand.
yeah.
Everybody's not going to understand.
Let's okay, and I will ask everybody, all of us, if you're not talking, we're going to mute our mics so that we can hear each other. Diamond, I want to ask you that because you also went through a toxic, very hurtful situation. Do you feel like you're ready to actually marry Aaron, and are you guys at a point where you're ready to move forward? We're all going to mute except for Diamond.
Yes, I was already completely healed and whole before I got with Aaron because I wanted to make sure because hurt people. And I didn't want to bring no baggage, as people call it, or weight, as people call it, but I call it residue. I didn't want to bring that to a relationship. I didn't want to bring that to no one because it's not fair to me and it's not fair to them. So I made sure that my mind, body, and soul was right. And like I said, I went through therapy. I'll tell anybody that. I'm going to go get me some therapy. Yeah, I have God, but I'm going to get me some therapy too. Because both of them works. And people shouldn't even be scared to go to get therapy because it works. And that's how I got over that situation because that was very devastated with what occurred with me and my child. I even had to put her through therapy. That's the reason I brought her on the show because I wanted her to make sure that if this person was going to be in our life, I want her to approve it. Everybody was talking about, oh, I cannot believe, even Aaron had said that. But no, me and my daughter went through a lot, and I was not going to make a decision without her.
I want to ask you about the situation with Diamond. Hold on, Aaron, because
That's your mic. That's your mic, by the way. That's not mine.
okay. I want to ask Diamond about the situation with the lady that came on as her sister. Did you, one of the things that we said on the chat is that, or I said to the chat, we were talking like how if a person is a part of my family or a part of my friends, how they interact with my significant other is usually based on what I've said to them, unless they just are coming from a very hurtful place. But what are your thoughts on how the situation with Aaron and your sister, to get to that toxicity, for him to be going back and forth with her like that? What do you feel about that?
Well, for one, before it even occurred, I even told them, I said, please don't go in here and act a fool because you're not going to embarrass me and I'm gonna walk away if you do.
Right.
And she was like, no, I'm not. But it was like you came in ready. But it all started on social media. And just because he said, I love you, and she talking about we'll see. And then he said, well, who are you? She said, I'm her sister. And talking about, okay, so they went back and forth, but he gave her an olive branch. He always, when Aaron know he's wrong, he be the first one to apologize.
Okay.
She wouldn't take that olive branch. So I did not know it was still like she was still holding on to that, you know. And then she even said, you sure you want me to go? And I said, yeah, because I want you to be there with me. I said, you could ask him questions. Get to know him before you assume. And you know, this is a big lesson I have learned. I would never tell nobody about my business ever in life again. For real, for real. Because if it's not God, it's not gonna be anyone. But I just felt like she didn't think about my feelings. She didn't think about my heart. You say you love me. Aaron say he loves me. But you showed your ass. For what? You didn't even take the time to ask him questions. And then when they tried to get you to sit down with him, you still refused to do it. So you was not trying to find out what he wanted or how he was going to provide for me, as you said. You didn't want to ask questions. So I felt like you shouldn't even came on if you did not want to talk to him.
That's how.
And he even apologized, as you saw. He apologized to me. I still haven't got an apology from her.
Is that your sister, your blood sister, or?
No, she's a friend. I know over 20 years, and it's like it really hurts because I'm like I never thought you would do something like that. And then some other stuff has went down, so it's like wow, okay, this is how we doing things, and that's why I say I had to learn this the hard way. But I won't tell nobody else. And I really.
Whoa.
She probably got a call.
Right.
Aaron, why did you go back and forth with her like that on the show though?
You talking about the sister? Well, the friend, because that's not her real sister.
The friend, right?
Um, Again, I was wrong. If I had to do it all over again, I would not have done it that way. This was a boiling pot for 2 years. For 2 years, this girl was online, and she talked to me the same way she talked to me, was talking about me on that show. Like Dymond said, I told her, I extended her an olive branch, and I said, hey, listen, maybe you need to get to know me. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you a question and answer. You ask me the question, I'll tell you, since you have so much to say about me, about I can't take care of her and I can't do this, I can't do that. Now, I know some people may think this was about the ring, but this was long before the ring thing happened. She was like this the entire time. So the ring thing would be an excuse for why she did that. But so she went off on me for almost 2 years for no apparent reason. So when she came on the show, it was almost like a Jerry Springer because I was in the next room and I could hear her clearly talking about me like a dog again. They didn't play the whole thing. Trust me, a lot of stuff was edited out that she said about me. They didn't play everything. So as I heard her talking about me like a dog, then they said, well, Aaron, go in there and introduce Ronald to Dymond. So like a Jerry Springer, bring him out, you know. So when I went in there, I was already heated going in there. And I don't know if they showed that part, but I stood in the door for a minute just listening to her. Listening to her talk about me like a dog. You know, so once I got in there, yeah, I let her have it. But again, I accept where I'm wrong at. If I had to do all over again, I probably wouldn't have said nothing. I probably would have sat there with a smile on my face. But to this day, and most people know I have a Facebook group out there for Never Ever Mets, and she tried to join the group. And I sent her a message and I told her, I said, listen, I don't have a problem out of you. I said, and I apologize for going off on you, but a conversation needs to take place before you enter inside this group because I'm not going to deal with all of that. She's still on the same stuff 2 years later, that she was on 2 years ago. And before
Does
four
she have
years ago
a
now.
man?
4 years ago now.
Does
four
she
years
have?
ago.
Is she in a relationship?
She's married, but Diamond. I hope she clicked back in. She can explain that better than me because I heard that's not going great either. So I felt now I don't know, but my feelings was she had some kind of jealousy with Diamond for some reason. Because I just don't understand where all that came from.
Right.
If I could tell you where it came from, I can get $1 million right now. I just don't know where all the hostility came from. It had nothing to do with the ring because it was before the ring. This girl, all I said to Diamond on Facebook was, "I love you," and she said, "We will see." And I'm like, "Who the
It
hell
just
is
went
we?"
off from there. That's
I don't
crazy.
even know who this person is.
Hey,
So I don't know what happened.
I got a question because you just brought up the ring again. Okay, so was the ring the uh, the woman in L.A.?
L.A.
Good question, Mo.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean
yeah.
you mean here in California? Yes, it was.
Okay,
The one you
Yes,
were living with.
right. Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
Wow.
I
Okay.
wasn't living with her at the time. At the time of the ring, I was living alone.
So why did you do that?
That makes it even worse. You do know that, right?
I, 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 I had my reasons, and I know your audience is going to say he's not answering the question, but I made peace with Diamond, and I made peace with everybody else that was involved with the ring, and I leave it just as that. I don't even talk about that ring.
Okay. So I'm just wondering, had you actually bought the ring, or were you just at the store taking a picture?
No, I just took a picture.
We talking about a picture of a ring. I thought it was
Yeah,
on somebody's hand. Okay.
no, I took a picture. See, they got the whole ring situation wrong. It didn't change from me propose. It didn't change all kind of stuff I done seen. I put a picture of a ring on Facebook and said that I was going to propose. I
Oh,
never said that I proposed. I think Diamond came up with the he proposed or something like that, but it was a picture of a ring.
Aaron, let me ask you this real quickly, and I hope Diamond can chime back in. What did you think of Sandia and Chris? Because that was another big talking point here. They left together. They were the only couple that seemed extremely happy together and worked the best after the show was over. Um, we did not like we did not like the way Chris carried himself with talking about what just the conversation he had the first night that we saw with the guys. And then when his friend came, it seemed very chauvinistic and very unnecessary, toxic, very just annoying. And then just some of his, him not feeling like he should have to, him calling Sandia very sensitive and him not wanting to share his feelings. But at the end of the day, the two of them ended up together. What was your perspective on that couple, and do you think they're genuine?
Before I say that, I think we discovered our noisemaker because there's no noise now. So it was Diamond's phone. But Chris and Sandia, when I first got there, I thought Chris was absolutely nuts because Chris said he didn't trust women. And when I told him they didn't show this either, I said, "But you got a mother." He said, "I don't trust her either."
Mm.
So when he said that, I'm looking like, "Oh, this girl is in trouble." But I like Chris, and I began to like Chris. And I'm gonna tell you why I like Chris. He reminds me of Popeye, and the reason why I say that, if you remember Popeye the Sailor Man, he said, "I am what I am, and that's all that I am."
Mm-hmm.
Chris is who he is. You can't you can't get mad at him because he's stuck with it. He never switched lanes. He answered questions. He answered it the way he was going to answer it, and he never stuttered. He never switched the lane, and that I can respect who he is. When you know who they is, that's who they is. So I
Mm-hmm.
respected Chris for who he argues with me right now. If I talk to Chris right now, he laughs at me. Man, he said, "Man, you cried to a woman." He talks about me right now. He said, "Aaron, no, you can't do that." But so I like it, Chris. I think that I don't know anything about the Haitian culture. But it seems like to me watching him and Sandia, if you notice, Chris says a lot to her. He says, "Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you this? Didn't I tell you that?" And Sandia says, "Yeah, you did tell me." So she knew. She
Yeah,
knew. So I think it's something with their culture that allows them to deal with that or know how to deal with that, because we already know that the American woman would not have went for none of what Chris did, at least not most of them anyway, would have did none of them. So I think that I think they good with each other. And
yeah,
she understands him and he understands her. I mean, the little stuff that they went through on the show are just hiccups that any relationship would have. Everybody has a struggle. Your
that's
struggle may not be my struggle, but
that's
you
true.
got it.
That's
You
true.
got
Everybody has a struggle.
it.
What about the Sienna and Brandon? Were you there? Because we saw you tried to be like a helper. You and Diamond actually both try. I don't know
Yeah,
if it was always received, that way, but with Sienna and Brandon, that kind of blew up before, but it wasn't too long into the show before they blew up. But we got Diamond back, so I want to get your opinion on. Yeah, that
There go the
is
noise.
your opinion on Sienna and Brandon, and how we saw. Actually, it was interesting because we saw both Sienna and Millie called men on the show out of their name, and that was really hard to watch. And we talked about that. What was your opinion on that? And then Diamond, I'll ask you as well.
Well, when you seen me and Diamond talk with Brandon and Sienna, we caught them before the name calling took place.
Mm,
okay.
Brandon would come and talk to the fellas about how he felt about her and what was going on. Well, we wanted to see them make it because we thought that they were cool. Brandon was a really cool guy, and I didn't talk to her much because if you notice, you never seen me talking to no female alone. That's not what I do. So whenever I talked to him, she was there. And so I said, "Well, Brandon, if you want," and I asked him, I said, "If you want, we can all sit down and talk." He's like, "Okay, let's do it." And so we just pretty much sat there as mediators. Now people say, "Well, you act like you was the host of the house." Well, I am going to say this because the show is over. We had to deal with each other because Taronda was there maybe 5 or 6 times out of the whole time we was there.
that's clear.
And she would
So
pop up out of nowhere.
yeah, she would just come in and leave out. She's good at what she does, but we had to deal with each other. There was nobody to go to unless we're gonna go to a cameraman,
Mhm.
So it was just us. And so I went up to them and they seemed like a pretty cool couple before all the rest of it took place, but that was before us. But Sienna really wouldn't let him talk most of the time. If he said something, she would jump right in. So if you see on the show, I gave them, he would play the guitar. He had a pick. And I gave him the pick. I said, "Listen, whoever has the pick is who talks." Well, even when he had the pick, she would start talking. So
That,
that didn't work. But I thought that they both was cool. I didn't. They wasn't around long enough for me to have any bad thoughts about them anyway. But I hate that happened. But yeah, when I talked to them, that was long before the name calling and all that kind of stuff took place. And I do want to point this out while we're on that. I talked to Brandon and Sienna, and I also had something to say to Jody twice. But
Mhm.
yet people say that I was in everybody's business. That's two people. That's two people out of 7 couples. So I don't know how that's everybody's business, but okay, I'll take it.
Diamond, what are your thoughts? Because we Mo specifically brought up the fact that it was unfortunate that if a man had called a woman out of her name like that, I mean, actually, people did get upset with Aaron said with called said that to your friend, but the
Yeah,
way
I got upset too because I was like, "You gonna call me that? You heard me what I asked." Because it's so easy for you to slip out, or not even slip. It's so easy for you to call out a person's name. That means you're gonna do the same thing.
Mhm,
But no, I get what you're saying. But Sienna, I'm gonna say this. Everyone has something that happened in their life,
mhm,
and people got to remember, if she haven't seen two parents together loving on each other, a person is not going to know how to speak to a man. I'm going to use an example. what I seen growing up at my friend's home. This man, the husband, came home every day, gave his check to his wife, did what a man's supposed to do back in those days. But she talked to him any kind of way. She called him a bastard, called him you no good man, this and this and this. And I'm like, I've never seen this with my parents. I'm not used to that. So if a person don't see that, that's how they're gonna present themselves to another man, especially if they don't know that's wrong. I don't know her background, but something had to happen in her background for her to be like that. And if a person is not going through therapy to heal, that's what's going to happen. That's why I say hurt people hurt people. And that's why I tell anyone, and I told Aaron, if you're not ready, do not come in my life when I know I'm ready and you're not. And that's with anyone. I always been the type of person, let me know. If you don't want to be with me no more, hey, no harm, no foul. Cool. I'm out. Period. Don't play with my feelings. Don't play with my emotions. And it's like if Sienna, she wanted that. They made a good couple. But she just didn't know how to submit.
Interesting. That's interesting. So where are you guys at now, Dymond? Are you wearing a ring? Can we see the engagement ring? Are you guys engaged now? And when are the wedding plans, if so?
Yes, we are. And right now it's getting sized because I have lost weight. Thank you. So it kept coming off and I didn't want to lose it.
That's
okay. Like
so where are you guys planning to live in California? Is it coming to Florida? What are the plans? What are the
He is not coming to no Florida ever in his life again. Oh.
I used to live in Florida for a year. I wasn't a Florida guy, but being that it's only feasible for her to come here at the present time. Maybe something may change later because I've been in business for 35 plus years. I just brought my business from Michigan to here, and so my business is situated here. It's booming. I'm very successful here, and so for me to leave and go to another state, I would have to start over, and the dynamic is not going to be the same because the price of California is so high here that you also make more money here. So, it would be crazy for me to leave and have to start over somewhere else to make less money.
What do
And
you
her job, she's able to do it anywhere. Huh?
What's your business, Aaron?
I have a hauling service. What I call it is a glorified garbage man. Uh, and that is I pick up stuff for people and take it to the dump. But I not only do it for regular citizens, but I'm also contracted through the government. I do it for the prisons, for Edwards Air Force Base, for realtors, and one more person I can't think who it is. But yeah, I'm pretty successful here. I have the largest black owned business in my county. Everybody knows.
Give Aaron a hand clap. Now, Aaron, when you're hauling, you got to be careful with those nails, though.
Hey, you know what? Everybody asks me, how do your nails stay like that? And I work hard. I do. I have 10 employees, but I'm a hands-on type person. So I cannot just sit in the truck while they working. I get out and I work. And people ask me all the time, how do you do that? And I bowl like 5 days a week. I'm a bowler. I tell them I always have on gloves. Always have on gloves. So
Dymond, do you want to share about your weight loss and that is that something you want to share with the chat? Somebody asked about that.
Well, I was losing before I came on the show. So, I always have been a health person. I just was, got happy at that time. So that was happy weight. But I was like, oh no, I got to get this off me because it was clothes I just had bought because I had lost weight in 2019 and I have lost 80 pounds. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on now. So far, I lost 50. So I'm happy about that.
That's cute. That's
good,
awesome.
Good for you.
Thank
Good for you. So what do you guys plan? Is there a planned time for the wedding? And do we get invites? Are you inviting Crystal XO and Scorpio?
Well, like I said, right now we're going to premarital counseling.
Okay, that's good.
because I want to make sure, and he wants to make sure that we build a firm and strong foundation.
There you go.
Because
That's
I don't
good.
believe in divorce. Like him, like that's how we grew up. We don't believe in that. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if a man not beating you or hurting you or like that, fight for your marriage, fight for your relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we're rooting for you guys. I'm glad that you guys are in premarital counseling. I think marital counseling is great. I've been married for 4 years, and we still, do our counseling and therapy because we want to stay married. We don't want to just do it when there's something wrong.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. And
Mhm.
that's just like I did with my girl when I brought her up. I didn't just go to the school if something was bad. I wanted to know what was good, what's going on. And that's how Aaron and I are. If
Mhm.
something happens between us or he's not, because I could tell there's something wrong with him. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And
Mhm.
he could do the same thing with me. So we gotta, communicate.
Anything that you guys learned about yourself
Great question.
through going through this experience? I'll start with you, Aaron.
Yeah, I learned that everything ain't for everybody.
That's true.
Man, let me tell you something. Uh, I do. I want to say this that I learned. I have never been a reality TV person. I didn't even really watch it. I skimmed through a couple episodes of certain things, but I've never been a reality TV show person. I like cowboy movies. My TV stays on cowboy movies. That's what I love. Okay. People say, well, you should have knew what you was getting into when you got into it. Actually, I didn't, but trust me, America, y'all done taught me, baby. Y'all done made a believer out of me. Because all this dragging that y'all do, I cannot say the right thing to nobody. I don't care what it is. If I tell them the sky's blue, they say, how you know that? How you know the sky's blue? Was you up there? So I have learned that reality TV, man, it takes a tough skin to do this. I got a friend of mine that told me that they called him for 90 Day Fiance, and I told him, "You sure you want to do that?" I said, "I'm just telling you." And he's telling me how, oh man, I'm used to that people talking. I said, You used to the people that you know talking. You're
Right.
not used to millions of people. They said 4 million people watch this
Mhm.
show. Over 4 million people. You ain't used to all these people. I have never turned on the TV so many times, or went on Facebook or Instagram or X or any of that, and see my name being drugged so much. And I'm like, wow. And it's hard. And people say, why do you keep responding? It's hard for me not to respond because you got my name in this and you're talking about me. And it's just so I'm trying to work, and I'm in my truck and I'm telling y'all go ahead and get this stuff. I gotta text this right quick. I'm just type it. So it really has consumed me. But
Mhm.
this is not the last that you've seen of Aaron and Diamond. I can tell you that right now. We got some stuff up and coming,
Okay.
and it really has taught me. I will let y'all know this too. I'm from an entertainment family. I'm the baby of three. I do comedy, but my sister writes Broadway plays in New York. My brother has written for Kool and the Gang, Alicia Myers, and a whole bunch of others. He was the lead singer of a group called Into You.
Hold up.
So it's only three of us, and we're all in entertainment. But
Okay.
this right here has taught me a lot because I've never dealt. Well, he just did some magic stuff.
He just got up and walked out the room. That's how Scorpio Mo does sometimes. He gets
It,
laid.
it looked like it looked like it just disappeared though.
No, he got up slowly and moved. Donna,
Oh,
what about you? What did you learn about yourself during this process?
You say me?
Hmm.
Oh, who? Let me see. Well, I want to let people know I am not messy for one, because I don't care about nobody business. Because I told someone, if I see you doing something, I will not tell you. Because I had a family member that I seen. I said, "Ooh, I see with my red eyes something red." But no, I don't. My thing is, I already had thick skin because of growing up, because people call me freckle face because I have freckles.
Hmm.
People call me white girl because I speak proper. So I went through all of that. So I know that people are rude and vindictive and don't care about hurting you. But I do know I don't know about reality shows anymore. It has to be something good for me to do it again. I'm gonna say that.
Mm. Uh, Let me ask you this: what people have thick skin, and you said that you know that you're not messy. If you could do this over again, do you wish that there were certain times you just left the other people alone and let them deal with their own stuff, or would you do everything exactly as you did it again if you could do it over again?
The only, you know what? I'm gonna say like Aaron because he always try to be covering his butt. I did not say anything to no one. It came to me. It made it seem like I was the antagonist and I was in everybody's business, but I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, only time I said something like I said to Shay is because that happened to me, and that was with the bishop.
Mm-hmm.
If that woman would have told me that this, I wouldn't. That wouldn't have happened with me and my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And after everything was over with, and she found out that that happened to us, she was like, I'm sorry. I said, well, you should have told me none of this would have happened. She said, well, you know how women are. Well, I'm not that woman.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me, because if she would have told me, I would have sat back, I would have been looking, and I would have been, paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But women don't know how to be true to other women.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do that again.
Yeah.
Because the house was like saying, oh, that wasn't none of your business. I don't care if it wasn't none of my business. I was looking out for her because I didn't want her to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing too, I thought she was getting Josh's name on her because that was another reason too. But
Woo.
if I know that it was gonna be some dumb like that, I wouldn't even say anything.
Yeah, when you said the tattoos, I was like, woo. Even when they went and did that, I was like, woo. And did y'all notice that Josh was like, I still got mine? And she was like, I'm having mine removed. Like,
I don't believe that because it's not no name. It's just a tattoo. Yin yang. I mean, what you gonna have it removed for?
I will say this. I thought y'all got a bad deal on the furniture situation.
Oh yeah, they was petty. Yep. They was so petty.
That was a little shady. Yeah.
Yep. The only people who voted for us was us and Sandia and Chris.
Yeah.
Even Millie and Greg didn't vote for us, and I'm like, y'all not even together. Oh my bad.
Well, they told we Greg came and shared with us why they're not together.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And she was second choice. She was second choice.
She was second choice. They ain't never been together.
Thank you.
You said she was second choice?
She was second choice.
She wasn't even supposed to be on there.
No.
Oh.
What?
That was all for the show.
He had another girl?
Y'all spilled the tea because I'm.
Oh, wow. He had another girl.
And she backed out.
Oh, no.
Gregory, you ain't tell us that.
Greg did not tell us that.
He's not going to tell you that. He want to be all smooth.
Well, I don't think he was smooth, but he did. He definitely wasn't smooth. I wouldn't call him smooth.
What?
But
everybody talking about he look like Lenny Kravitz, and child boo, don't boost his head up like that.
Crystal was one of them.
Oh, I think he's a nice looking guy. I do.
Oh, you said we ain't talking about nice looking Lenny Kravitz.
Well, that's because of his style. Lenny Kravitz is like that black guy that's like eclectic.
Nobody can compare to him. I'm sorry.
Well, you're right. I mean, Lenny is one of one, but I'm just saying, like you could tell he's like one of the people that was influenced by Lenny. That's all. I liked him, but yeah, I wouldn't call him smooth.
I did not know. Okay.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, obviously that did not work. It did not work. It didn't, and I said to him, obviously it wasn't a priority. Because for him to let her go that quickly, it wasn't.
Thank you. And think about it. Why he let her go that quickly? They wasn't together.
Well, I don't think anybody except I think y'all and
Chris and Sandia.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, Jody and Aaron played in our face. I don't think Aaron is that dumb. I think Aaron wanted to stay to the end. There probably was a check at the end. because I don't believe that he knew that girl didn't like him.
Like I said, they was friends. They was best friends. So best friends come to the show together.
But you know what, Dymond, if they were best friends, she wouldn't have talked about him like that. He might have been her best friend, but she damn sure wasn't his.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Mo and I were
But
best friends. I would never talk about him like that, ever.
Well, you know, you could do anything for the camera. As she said, camera time. She wanted camera time.
Yeah, she's not his best friend. She did not care about him. No. Well, we wish you guys the best. We hope that when you do have, Aaron keeps saying y'all have some things coming. So, Aaron, will you guys come back again and visit us and let us know what's coming whenever the new things coming? Let us know about the wedding. Whenever you guys get to that point, you know, send us an look out for Crystal and Mo.
We will. Thank you. And please make sure you pick up Bishop Lives and Wives.
You got to come back, and when the book is ready, come back. Come back and we'll promote your book.
There you go.
I will. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you all.
Support authors. We wish you guys the best. Thank you for coming on. And thank you both for being honest and open and, you know, entertaining the conversation here on our channel. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Now, why you just thank Aaron for being honest? Oh, damn well this nigga ain't for being honest.
He said a lot of things. Now, we are supposed to have Josh tomorrow.
Josh, yeah. Let's go.
Tomorrow at 8. Make sure you're subscribed so you get your notification. Tomorrow at 8, we're going to talk to Josh. And according to Dymond, he did try to holler at Alexis, and he was unserious about Shay the entire time. So we're going to see.
Man.
We're going to see.
Damn it, man. They was my number one couple starting out.
Let me ask you this. So what do you think about, because, you know, we all felt like, I feel like we all had some very strong premonitions, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What are your thoughts about the
Hey. Hey.
Your thoughts about the conversation? Because I just
Still clap.
That's the point. No, I'm tired of people acting like if you ask someone their sexual orientation, you're being unfair.
Nah.
On reality TV, like I can ask you anything about a relationship if you come on reality TV. Now you don't have to answer it, but if you go on reality TV, then you're open for me to ask you a question, especially if you present yourself. Yeah, you present yourself one way, you know.
Too many red flags for me, partner. Too many red flags from, and the verbiage switch, and I said that, and I don't know, but I just the verbiage switch on certain things. I'm just like, nah, that just don't. I didn't want to press it because it's not about you being that. It's about what you're presenting to the other person, thinking that you're away. That's it's not that you're. It's not the way. It's the presentation the other person thinking you're another way when you're really not. And
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was trying to say. And I also don't understand. He said he did it on purpose because he knew what he was going to get. So if you know that certain things
you can't get offended,
are going to be read a certain way, then why would you do it? You're doing it to put, and I'll put like this. I have a friend, you know him. He is bisexual, right? And he gets mad. He will do things, and he gets upset when people know that he's bisexual. He will say, well, did that person think I was straight? Like he asked me, did you? He was like, Mo doesn't know I'm well, he's gay, but he's bisexual. He's like, Mo doesn't know I'm gay. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, how? Why would he think that? You are.
I got eyes. I mean,
he gets so mad. He gets so mad when a person asks, but it's true. And it's like he wants to be like, he was like, yeah, but I might not have been. But you are. I don't understand.
It's like me, people get mad. It was like, well, Mo, your hair, you know, you're bald. I'm like, I am not bald. I'm intentionally.
I just shaved my head, but I'm not really bald. But how did you know I was bald?
How'd you know I was bald?
And it's like he gets it. Why are we so hyper focused on folks' sexuality? I'm not hyper focused on
It's
people's
not. Come on.
It is the fact that they're on a show, and if you come, especially with Aaron and Jody, I don't feel like he was really into Jody. I feel like it was all just
That's the only thing. That like they would have had a couple like that, two males or two women. Just wouldn't even. We're saying it because you're presenting it to be one thing.
Yes.
That's the issue. It's not which we gotta stop that, y'all. And the people that be saying that now, I'm questioning like why, you know, it be touching the nerve. I see it.
Like a hit dog a holler. Somebody said that
it be touching the nerve, whether it's you, somebody you love, and you think we're picking on. Don't look at it, and it might be hard to separate, but no one's ganging up. No one's saying it's a bad thing. You are that. We're just saying we're confused. That's it.
It's just like, and I remember with Amber Rose. Amber Rose had this big thing about slut walk and men calling women sluts. Do you portray the behavior of what one would define as a slut? If so,
an interview talking about why she don't do it no more.
Because you were, and then you're mad. It's like, come on. I want to act like a slut. Like, men should not call women sluts. I'm gonna show up half naked and lick a man's face.
Yeah, I'm going to have a parade in this thing, and I'm calling come on, man. We can't.
That's something that you got to work out. That's something you got to work out on your own. But I don't care what you are. My thing is when you come on and lie. And we saw what happened on Love is Blind. That was a hurtful situation. Dymond got a very, very, very difficult situation thrown at her because she did not want to date someone that was bi.
All we're saying, people.
And he was lying. It was unfortunate. But I'm not talking about Aaron and Dymond. I asked Aaron outright. He said no. So we take his word. It is what it is. But I am going to ask. And you said that you're specifically doing things that you know are going to cause people to ask a question. You made sure you had an accent nail. So if I ask about it, why are we having a problem? But he didn't have a problem tonight. So I'm good with that. But I'm just like, how are you going to literally say, oh, I'm going on camera. I know that when I wear nail polish with an accent nail, it's going to make people wonder if I'm gay or not. I'm going to do it. That means you want to invoke the conversation.
And there it is. And there it is.
So, you know, it's all good. It's all good. We're going to get off here because we got to be back here tomorrow night. And slut walk, and I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about Amber Rose's conversation. Hey, you 7 her 3. I don't know if you've heard Amber Rose's conversation, but I'm specifically talking about that. I definitely am not someone that thinks victims of sexual assault should be blamed. What I'm talking about is this was saying that women don't like being judged by how they dress and act, and if you come dressed in a way that focuses on your sexuality, acting in a way that focuses on your sexuality, and then get mad when you get called on it, that's kind of crazy. But, you know, hey, let everybody live. Let everybody live. I appreciate Aaron and Dymond for coming on. I would be happy to have Aaron, the other Aaron, come on if he's interested in coming on. Looking forward to talking to Josh. And we got more coming up this week. Remember, on Thursday, I have my conversation with Kendra G. And you guys definitely don't want to miss that. I love, that conversation was amazing. So,
and we appreciate you guys too. Like, y'all in there with us this evening. We know it was like, we appreciate that.
And I appreciate you guys hanging in there when we had our power surge. Obviously, things got too hot a little bit earlier here in Atlanta before the sun went down. But I appreciate you guys hanging on and coming over. So we're going to get out of here. We love you guys. XO to everybody. We will see you guys tomorrow right back here at 8 o'clock for a conversation with Josh. And, a little bit of everything going on. We'll have a little conversation like we do. A little this, a little that. Yes, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you like this before you leave. And we will see you guys right back here tomorrow at 8.
There you go.
Bye.
Out of here, y'all.